Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the WWE Mattel Elite Flashback, the total package. Some would call him the Narcissist, Lex Luger. The Lex Express comes to us from Elite 45, a really stacked wave. There was a great Seth Rollins in that set. We had the Dudley Boys as well, which I'm going to review. Really a stacked Elite series, which still hasn't hit stores in Australia, much to my dismay and anger. So I had to get this guy online. Got him from Ringside Collectibles, where I get a lot of my wrestling figures from, mainly because it's so hard to get good ones in Australia. I'm actually a big fan of Lex. I really like him. Visually, I think he's one of the most muscular wrestlers in recent memory. Certainly a great physique. Not a bad wrestler. I mean, I had a decent strongman type moveset. I enjoyed his flying clothesline and also the rack attack. You know, when you watch it back now, it's kind of a crummy submission move. But, you know, at the time, it's not too bad. I remember seeing a little bit of him here and there in TNA. Never got to see him in his prime in the early 90s. Now with the WWE Network, I've been able to go back, watch him when he defected to WCW. They did a really good job with him, I think, building up with Hulk Hogan. His promo at the first ever Nitro was fantastic. Really shit on WWE and established WCW as a top company. It was a big moment in the Monday Night Wars. Addicted to drugs and things like that, which really hurts his reputation in my eyes anyway. Macho Man, who's probably one of my favourite wrestlers of all time. Miss Elizabeth died, obviously, with him, with a drug overdose. So that, to me, taints Lex a little bit. But anyway, we've got a really cool-looking figure here from his early appearance. This is the second Lex that we've got. And the other one we got was the Lex Express, where he fought Yokozuna. Big push. Wasn't getting over with the crowd, and then they ended up deciding not to have him win the title. But a cool-looking figure. On the back, we see he was the United States Champion, WCW World Champion, Tag Team Champion, and a Television Champion. So really, WCW is where most of his achievements lie. The Narcissist, I like the gimmick. To be honest, he had a great match against Mr. Perfect at WrestleMania from memory, which was a decent match. I love the entrance, comes out with the mirror, all the ladies and everything. I thought that was well done. Other figures in the set, we've got a solid Roman Reigns. The Seth Rollins is fantastic. The Dudleys is great too. And William Regal from WCW, fantastic. So with that, let's get Lex opened up and out of packaging. Okay, so here we have Lex opened up and out of packaging. One thing I want to note, there are a few new changes on this figure that you might not have noticed. One is the elbows. We have a new elbow joint, which was introduced as a cost-saving measure, but doesn't really hinder articulation or anything like that. So that's something just to be aware of, is a little bit of a new change on the figures. In terms of face sculpt, I think that's fantastic. I think that is the best Lex Luger head we've gotten, including, you know, earlier Mattel and Jack's versions as well. Definitely looks like Lex, the Narcissist. Look at the grin on his face. Excellent sculpt. Great detailing on the hair as well. Look at that classic 90s, luscious, fluffy wrestling hair. So well done. The face sculpt is awesome. I really, really like that. Moving down, nice detailing on the figure. He's got, obviously, the trademark Narcissist tights. I'm not sure what this was. To me, it looks more like a Native American, Indian kind of attire, you know, rather than something that like a Narcissist would wear. But, you know, it is what it is. Moving down, there is great detailing on it. Probably a good idea they went with this iteration of Lex. The WCW version really doesn't have anything to it. It's just black tights. You know, you have the standard white under here. So they can give us that at a later stage. No hurry for that particular version of Lex. You'd have to, I think, have a really good accessory with that figure to make it worthwhile, at least in my view. So I'm really happy with this one. I actually probably prefer it to the American-made Lex Express figure that we got about a year ago now, or maybe a little bit longer, which was also a solid figure. In terms of articulation, ball-jointed head, ball-jointed arms, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel in the wrist, ab crunch, swivel waist, swivel in the legs, swivel in the thigh, double bend at the knee, swivel in the boot, and swivel in the ankle. So your standard range of elite articulation, which is great. That's what you want out of these figures. Joints are a little bit stiff. but a pretty solid figure. I'm quite happy with it. And in terms of accessories, he comes with his iconic Narcissist cape. There's some nice detailing on it. It is made out of soft rubber, so it's very easy to put on and take off. And it looks alright. I mean, it's not too bad. If you're a Lex Luger fan, then absolutely I think this is a must-get. His first appearance in WWF at the time. So it's a really iconic look for him. He had a good run at that stage. Probably not his most successful version of his wrestling career, but a nice figure nonetheless. If you see this guy, I'd recommend picking him up. So I hope you've enjoyed this review on the WWE Mattel Elite Series 45, The Narcissist, Lex Luger.